Welcome back. Now to a familiar issue we've discussed on the show before. A program designed to give inmates a second chance by allowing them to complete college courses behind bars. It is gaining at least public support. The Hudson Link program held its annual fundraiser Thursday night, and RFL's own Dominic Carter was there, in fact, the MC of the event. And tonight, we're speaking not only with he, but also Brian Fisher, former commissioner of the New York State Department of Corrections and Supervision, been a member of the Hudson Link Board of Directors since 2007. Gentlemen, thank you very much. And, you know, it's funny because obviously you were there from the inception of this thing, right. But it's folks like Dom who go from what I think a lot of people are, if not skeptics, at least cautious about it, to converts after one event. And by all accounts, last night was a really good one, too.
Well, you know, Richard, number one, I want to thank the commissioner because it's easy for somebody like me. I'm a Johnny-come-lately. As a matter of fact, I didn't even look at the program in a positive light to begin with. I now live by it. That's how strongly I believe in it. But I want to thank the commissioner because, you know, we never give people credit. He had the vision to believe in this program. He could have easily have said no, you know? And it's people like him that have made a huge difference.
Well, to get tough on crime is easy. And we've had folks around this table, Commissioner, who, lawmakers, folks who would cast a vote in Albany, that said, no, it's a diversion of resources we can't afford at the time. You're awarding bad behavior. It's throwing good money after bad. We can do all our talk, but you lived it. Why are those arguments and the concerns of Albany, why are they wrong? And why would it be not just political courage, but money well spent for New Yorkers to get behind this?
You have to understand that 90% of the people are going to come home. Education is the foundation upon everything else. And when you talk about money, maybe the real answer is the people who leave with a college education get good paying jobs. They in turn have good families, they pay taxes. Probably the argument that I always make is very simple. You send somebody to prison. Society in general has one concept which we all accept. People should leave better than when they came in. Well, what better way to get them prepared than an education? From not only that, consider this. If the person needs medication, we give it to them. If a person needs psychiatric help, we give it to them. If a person needs education, we kind of give it to him. We should be giving him and her the same education attempts or levels as we can, because in the end, society does better off, both financially and socially.
And this isn't, for me, who likes numbers, this isn't some hypothetical. Half the guys, roughly, a little less than half, that get out of Sing Sing, and like you said, that's a maximum security place, half the guys, and almost everybody gets out at some point, go back. Of the graduates of this program, and you're in the hundreds right now, right, all through private donations, almost 100% of them stay out. And that's, forget about those people that are innocent walking the streets right now that weren't victims of the crimes, then all the cost for the legal system, and then all the cost to incarcerate them at about 50 grand a year, right? To basically house and watch an inmate. To me, it made sense. But I'll give you the arguments that I heard again. Hey, you're taking money out of kids' pockets. All of a sudden, you're going to educate every inmate under the sun here. What are we doing?
We're educating those who want it, which is very important because there's a kind of a self-identification, an acknowledgement on the part of the inmate. You know what? I need to change my life. And I think everybody's looking at it as a prison program rather than a societal program, rather than an education program. The key element, and we saw it last night with all the graduates, think about when they leave. They're leaving educated, and they're doing something that they would not have done if they didn't have the education. So the key element, we shouldn't be focusing on prison. We should be focusing on education, long-term, and the value of long-term education.
And Richard, let me make this point. The graduates of this program, they're role models. Make no mistake about it. If you want to find out, normally when you're dealing with a prison and the people that run it, it's normally not a good relationship. The inmates, if you will, they don't look good at management. But to be there last night and the mere mention of his name, the way that the crowd reacted to the man that ran the prison. And the reason why I say they're role models, people may say, well, what's wrong with this guy? He's calling inmates role models. They are. You have to understand, in many communities where I come from in New York City, Going to prison, things are so dysfunctional now, where going to prison has become a rite of passage. Of course, it shouldn't be that way, but there are literally some kids that are watching us tonight where they look up to more going to prison, and they view college as completely out of the realm that they can't do.
You've been to some of these. I've been to a graduation, and I've been to commencement addresses at colleges where former presidents have spoken, et cetera, and current presidents. Best graduations I've ever gone to, the two best ones have been at Sing Sing, because the inmates are the ones delivering the valedictorian speech here. And when you figure and you hear the story, I always look in the crowd. And you said you did the same thing.
That's what got me.
And you look at, for the first time, the families are proud, and the kid's proud of his old man, right?
What's amazing, I defy anyone, the most hardened person against this program, Commissioner, to go to one of your graduations. Like I did.
Oh, you would. You were at the table.
That's
We
right.
dared a couple of
That's right.
assemblymen to go there and feel the same
That's
way
right.
when they got it.
Because I came in questioning, I didn't express this, but is this a waste of taxpayer dollars? What am I doing
And it
in
wasn't
Sing
the
Sing
taxpayer, it was private
prison?
dollars, right,
It's
yeah.
private
Yeah.
dollars. And Richard, the moment that you sit there and you look, okay, the inmates are obtaining their college degree, but you look in the eyes of family members. Remember, this is a family unit. It's not just one individual that you're changing their lives. And the reason why I say they become role models, because we need these men and women that are no longer incarcerated to go back to their communities in the South Bronxes of the world and Harlems of the world and explain why jail is not cool.
And I've heard,
That's the key.
Yeah.
We're
one of your
breaking,
proudest
we're
things was,
breaking
though?
the
Yeah,
cycle
that's
of
it.
incarceration.
Right.
We're breaking the cycle of poverty, and we're breaking the cycle of children coming into prison in the next generation.
Because you've had fathers and sons in the same prison.
We've had them in the same cell occasionally, once in a while. It should not happen. The men who leave, the men and women who leave getting the degrees, getting the college degree, they do two things. They are men and women of color. They go back to the neighborhoods and they provide a service that isn't being provided by society in general. They're reaching out to their brothers and sisters and their brothers and sisters' children.
I think this is the most, not only practical, penny-wise investment the state could make here. I really think once we get by the election, this thing's got a much better chance of going forward. But Commissioner, I really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
And it was an honor to see the way that the people honored you last night, Commissioner.
Those are the guys that we spent time together with.
All right, everybody. We are going to be right back after a commercial break. Stay with us. Andrew Whitman and our political panel are going to pick it up after the break, including this week's big fight in the race for New York governor. So who got better of the fight when it came to housing discrimination in Westchester County?